Yes.
I'm here for a test drive, correct?
Yes.
Give me 1 moment. I'm gonna go ahead and get somebody from the back for the test drive.
All right.
Are you test driving Model S or Model X?
Model S. Perfect. Okay, so this is the screen.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so this is something I'm really interested in before we even get on the road.
Sure.
Because I know I can't touch it once we ride really much. Okay, we got navigation, we got music, we got
that one's it'll pair with your phone. So yeah, calendar. Then you've got direct energy use, but the main thing you really need to make sure of is just your battery behind there, which is 160 miles still empty currently. This is just kind of showing you how you're using it, but it's more kind of informative than you need to know. It's kind of just extra insight.
What happens if your battery done? You're just done?
Yeah, you'd have to get like a flatbed tow. There's no like jumper cables or anything like that.
Really?
Yeah.
So if you're out, you're just out.
Yeah, but they do have roadside assistance. So Tesla has roadside assistance programs and vehicles that'll come tow you or whatever it is, bring you a spare tire, anything.
This is a web browser?
Yeah, so the car comes with internet. Yeah, it's pretty crazy. Right now it's on the Wi-Fi because we're near the building, but it does come with 4G internet, which is really fast and really awesome. And then that's the rear view camera, which you already see on there. You can do like a split screen, right? So most people will do like a maps on one, camera on the other. And the idea behind this rear view camera is that it stays on always. It also shows your blind spot. So just, it's not one of those things you're supposed to stare at per se. It's more so just give it a check or a reference every once in a while before you're going to change a lane, or if you're trying to just see what's near your vehicle.
Okay, so how do I turn it on?
So you already did. Basically, by sitting in it, I have the key on me, but basically by sitting in it and putting your foot on the brake, it turned from car off to showing you park, reverse, neutral, drive. And then if you're familiar with this guy here, it's basically just a pull down for drive, up for reverse, and pressing the end to park.
Oh. She's fast. Okay, thank you. Let's get on the road.
Yep, we'll go straight and to the right.
Doesn't make a sound.
Nope.
So
Yeah.
it's totally electric.
Yes.
Completely electric.
100% electric.
I'm on a rental of a hybrid, and
So almost there, but not quite. And not this light, but the next light, we're gonna make it right.
wow, it's got acceleration.
Oh yeah.
Which Model S is this one? Which package is this one? I know there's a 75,000.
This is the top of the line, but it's not set to that. So I have it set to like the standard speed, which is like a 4.20 to 60. I can change it if you wanted to do the faster, but we're gonna go right at the next light.
I'm amazed at the power that I'm getting. It's just right with this. It's just amazing. And there's no sound.
Right here.
Right here. And there's no sound whatsoever. And look, I didn't even hit the brake. It just braked.
Right, so regenerative braking, which basically means the motors are slowing the car down, not the brakes. So it increases your range, basically negates that loss of range from stop and go so much. So it also saves your brakes.
So you don't hit the brake. You just it'll just slow down by itself.
I mean, use the brake when you have to use it, or when you're completely, trying to come to a complete stop. But for the most part, yeah, you use your brake a lot less. It's almost like a one-pedal drive, really easy.
And then, but you're on the freeway. But when you're on the freeway, you have to have your foot on the gas the whole time.
Yeah, I mean, you don't want to completely leave it off. What I tell most people is that as long as your foot's not completely off the pedal, like if you have a toe pushed on it, a little bit, it's not going to kick that in.
Oh, okay, I see. I can feel that.
So,
I can feel that. That's awesome.
Yeah, it's really nice.
That's I didn't have to brake to do that turn.
And the main point of that is to save your range. But I mean, it's super comfortable. I prefer it over normal brakes for sure.
Yes.
As far as the normal braking system.
Yes, and does it charge? It doesn't stop it all completely though. It just slows it down.
Correct.
And does it charge your battery when you do that?
Yes. So that's what it's doing exactly. By using the motors to slow you down, it's basically charging the battery at the same time. So it's not gonna really give you like positive range for the most part. It's just kind of negating that extra loss of range.
How do you switch it to the upper speed thing?
Oh yeah, we can try that for you. So let's see.
And that's all on board?
Yeah, well, because we're already in the top of the line model with the top of the line battery. As far as performance, you can't really, you can't ever change like a normal battery to like the higher performance. It's just because I'm going from higher to lower. But yeah, on our cars we can do that. We're just gonna keep going straight.
What is this display here? It's like it's showing me the road almost.
So showing you exactly where you're placed in the road, which is nice, obviously, to know, if you're not sure, if you're, swerving or staying too close to one side. So that's kind of just heads up, showing you exactly what your car is doing too. So, any lights, brake lights, blinkers, anything you have going, it'll show you actually on the little car as well there. Basically extra safety.
And I see this right. If I touch that, is that gonna unmute?
No, that
Okay.
one's not a touchscreen,
Okay.
just the center one.
Okay.
But yeah, you still have like a music volume knob on the left side. Yep.
And this is the high-end sound system.
From a real one, I wanna love you. Pretty young thing, hey, need some love.
Pretty amazing.
I like that. And okay, now the 35,000 one that I have to wait a year for. What is that one?
It's just a different car. You'd have to go to, I'd recommend you go to Santa Monica or Century City because they have one in the showroom.
Mm-hmm.
It's definitely a different car for a different, type of driving, but it's still a nice car, obviously. It's just kind of different price point, different type of driver, but it's one of those things you'd want to go check it out in person to obviously understand what makes it so different.
But it is full electric.
It's smaller, yeah, it's the main point. It's smaller, lower price point, so maybe if you're just trying to go all electric, it could be feasible for you. If you're close to the Model S level, I'd always recommend getting the Model S. But,
Yes, I can go for the Model S.
But I mean, the company's goal is really to just, help people go electric as easily as possible.
Now, the charging station.
And we're gonna exit on Culver. Yeah, charging station. So ideally, you'd want to have a home outlet as far as a 240 volt charger at home, and it's just an outlet. So I mean, you can
A regular outlet?
a 240 volt outlet. So not a regular outlet.
So
As far as like an outlet, like on the wall, just an outlet. You don't need like a whole, charging station, or some people think they need like a built-in,
Yeah, I thought I needed that little pole, that little
No,
thing.
you don't need that. You just need the outlet put in. You can do something like an upgraded version as far as like a wall connector to do charger or faster charging, but for the most part, you'd be fine with just a 240 volt outlet.
And I think the standard's 110, right?
Yeah, standard you can charge, but it's more so, and we're gonna go left at the end. It's more so in case of emergencies. So I mean, it's not very feasible as far as charging your car super fast. It's kind of pretty slow.
Overnight.
Yeah, the 110 would be like a couple days. The overnight would be the 240 volt. Yes, like around 6 hours, 0 to full, somewhere in there.
Okay, you said you could plug it up to a regular outlet too?
You can. It's just not recommended because it's just super slow. It's not very fast.
Like if I was somewhere at a friend's house in the desert and I needed to charge it.
Yeah, you could charge on it. Standard outlet. Yes.
And what is the impact to the fuel? I mean, to the electricity bill.
Yeah, it's hard to say. I never put a number on it just because it's too much of a guesstimate. I should say, because everybody's on their own tier. We're gonna go left whenever you can, but yeah, everybody's on their own energy tier depending on the size of your house, where you live, what cable. I mean, what electrical company you have. So it's hard to ballpark a number, but I would say it's usually still more affordable than gas. That's for sure.
I don't even feel any of the little, I don't know what they call that. Suspension is
Right.
great.
So yeah, the car comes standard with what we call air suspension too, smart air suspension, which is basically the ability to lower or raise the car, to clear a curb or whatever it is, or if you're going over a bumpy spot, and it also saves the location of that as well. So you can save it, like say your house has a big curb or something in front of it, it will remember the next time you go back after you do it the first time, and it'll just start raising or lowering whatever you selected.
GPS.
Yeah, location.
Wow.
Smart location saving basically.
Wow.
Just go straight, and then you can park in that first spot to the right.
To the left.
To the left. I was thinking of that truck. Yeah, you're right. To the left.
Oh,
We are
you know what? I
good.
was just asking. This would be so cool. This is basically telling you that you're about to hit something.
Yeah. So exactly. You
And
can
how
see
far?
exactly down to
33.
the inches.
Oh, I love that. That is awesome. That is awesome. I was just thinking that when I was coming up there.
And then you're just gonna put your finger on the end of it and press the button on the end, the silver button. There you go. Yep. And that's park. And that's it.
That's it.
Yep.
It's off?
It's not off yet. It will be off as soon as you get out of the car. Very smart car. It does a lot of things for you. Does almost everything for you. Yeah, that's Tesla. So I'm glad you got to drive. Hope you enjoyed your experience.
So